Again, I like to remind everybody that I was a documented slave in the 80s, and I see this thing about George Floyd floating around. All the white people cheering, saying the officer should have never been in jail, and plus, they need to give him millions of dollars for locking him up for no reason at all. We watched this man kill my boy on national TV. This man was laying on his belly, handcuffed behind the bike. A grown man on his knee. A grown man on their bike. A grown man on his leg. And all the white people saying, read the post. He was resisting. That's why he died. He was resisting. What I seen was a grown man crying, peeing all on himself, begging for his life. One thing about it, I've been face to face with God and I was raised by angels. We are judged, what a lot of people don't know, by our thoughts. So the ones who cheering and saying he should have died because of some kind of lie, I wish I can be there when God face to face, when y'all face to face with God. Y'all seen this man die on national TV, and y'all so hateful and racist. Y'all say the officer did nothing wrong. And he took that man from his daughter. How are you resisting with 200 pounds men's on you? I tell you what, let me get on your neck. Give me 30 seconds. Let me get on your goddamn neck and see. And I just stopped arguing with him. Because now they saying, oh, he pulling guns on women. He beating women. And I'm like, what that got to do with the case? What the case was about counterfeit money. One time, I got paid from the bank. I've been going to this store for probably 8 years then. I did the same routine for 8 years. I go to the bank with the rest of the job. Boom, get my money, and I go to this Middle Eastern store. I get my bill and everything, right? I walked in the store this day after I left the bank. He said, hey buddy, I got everything, boss. I got everything for you in the cold bill, in the cooler, boss. I went and got the cold bill. This thing I know, I'm surrounded by the police. They drove me against the counter, handcuffed me. And I'm like, what's going on? They say you got counterfeit money. I said, it can't be. I just left the bank, man. Literally straight from the bank to here like I always do for the last 8 years, right? They were taking me to jail anyway. Guns pointed. And right when they were taking me out the store, another police walked in and said, hey, what y'all doing with Mr. Stubbs? They say he's spreading counterfeit money. He said, oh, no, hell he ain't. He said, I worked on the job with him before I come to be a police. That man a boss man. They say he got $100 bill. And that man say, and he make that kind of money. He's a golf course manager. Take the handcuff off that man. And David, let me follow you to the bank. We get to the bottom of it. We got to the bank admit. They checked the camera. And they seen the registration number on all them bills. Say, yeah, they are bills. Say, and it happened on the regular. That counterfeit bill slipped through our finger. So the police told me, said, I was you. I know you've been going to that store a long time. I was you. I'll go back and give him a piece of my mind. I won't go there no more. So I go back to the store. I walk through the door. Hey, buddy. I still got your stuff waiting on. I say, bro, this ain't about no stuff. I say, me and you been knowing each other almost a decade. You act like I'm your friend, and I thought we were friends. I say, but you just put my life in danger, bro. And what happened to me happened to George Floyd. He said, buddy, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I just hit the button. And when you hit the alarm, the police assume that it's a armed robbery. I say, yeah, but what if they would have came through the door shooting? He said, I don't know, buddy. They need to change the system. I'm sorry, buddy. I should have handled it different. And I never went to that store again. And that what happened to George Floyd. When the man hit the alarm, they assumed it was an armed robbery, and their adrenaline was flowing. And now that man dead. And they don't have no sympathy. The ones who saying, free the officer, give him millions of dollars for wrongful imprisonment. Them people racist. They saw it on national TV with their own two eyes. And they'll say everything they can to justify it. Thank you, and God bless.